Oh, what's up, Citizen Zone? How you guys doing? How you feeling? I'm Manuel. It's another episode of It's the Show, and things are happening today in a bunch of different places. I think the biggest thing that happened today so far that seems to be going on in Olympia, Washington, it seems that protesters and counter protesters have had a little scuffle. It looks like a MAGA protester shot at a Antifa protester, and right now there is a massive calling out to docs and figure out who that guy was. And it's pretty crazy. A lot of the video does show the Antifa protesters going after these guys, pepper spraying and macing him. And we don't have any actual footage of who got shot or what got shot. We could only just see the guy was standing there, pulled out his gun, shot a round off, and then, started moving back from the scene. So, do we have another Kyle Rittenhouse situation that's unfolding? I don't know. I mean, they seem to have already arrested the guy, taken him into custody, but that's not going to change anything because here we are. We're sitting right now. Last night in Washington, D.C., the Proud Boys and Antifa have already gone to heads in the streets. Now we're seeing it on the other side of the country in Olympia, Washington, where the same groups of people, well, allegedly, it looks like in Washington, it just might be, I guess, a more MAGA centric crowd, but clearly we're seeing mobilizations from both sides, and as positive citizens within the communist United States that apparently we're moving ourselves into, you guys got to make sure that you're protected 100%. So, I don't know what you feel about firearms or anything else of that nature, but I want to make sure that I at least tell you to make sure that you have your home protected because we don't know what's going to be happening, and a lot of us in the citizen zone are going to be spending time going out into the streets. At least that's the way that it's always been for us because we're not that type of operation. But it's looking like all of a sudden we're having to change ourselves and move into the actual street action groundwork organization because we're going to have to form the new resistance. A lot of people are still trying to hold out for the executive order from 2018 that Donald Trump put together to, I guess, stop foreign interference in elections. And a lot of people have been saying something about China interfering with the elections, rah, 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 rah. But we still haven't really heard anything else from these guys that's going to change anything for us to let us know. Essentially, we've all been working together trying to figure out if the republic is finally dead. And as we've been seeing, the Supreme Court and many other groups have basically told us, no, we don't give a shit about your election materials. We're also members of the Kraken, and we're not going to stand behind you guys and try to do this because we want to save whatever we think we have left. And it's just kind of a sad situation, you guys. We've seen how these criminals have basically subverted us for the last 4 years, and here we are at the precipice of the newest thing. We got the most votes out of any other president. Somehow it still just went by the wayside. So how do we look moving forward? Well, a lot of us are going to be hated on. We're going to become the most hated people on the internet because all of these other turds and trolls basically manage to make themselves into a place. And we have to just become the most vocal people out there where we're constantly talking about the corruption that's going on in the government. And if this thing is going to make itself to 4 years, then it's something that we're going to have to really look at. And I mean, impeachment should definitely be on the table, and that's what we should be having right now happen with all of our different folks because it was 4 years of impeachment off of nonsense for Mr. Trump. It's gonna not be 4 years of nonsense because guess what, you guys? We've already collected most of this stuff to actually get that stuff happening. But where we're going to fall short is that if our lawmakers and legislatures from the states don't actually have any understanding and don't stand behind it. We saw that it was a government centric push from all of these different people to try to take down Trump, and essentially everything they did up until the election failed. And some people are going to say, well, he failed because Biden got more votes. And, okay, it's all about legal votes. Apparently, legal votes don't matter. And we're now living in the United States of Banana Republic, or, the Banana Republic of the United States. We're not the same thing that we're going to be. And already we have a president that's talking about gun control. They're talking about repealing and replacing a bunch of stuff that Trump has already put forward. They're going to reinitiate DACA. And what's going to happen with the United States? Because all of the positive motion that has been made is now going to probably start getting taken away, and it's going to be up to us as citizens of the zone to make sure that we're fighting for the future, because this isn't going to stand anymore. Like, we're not going to be down for this shit. And if they're still trying to force these dominion machines down our throats and all this other stuff, the only thing that we can do as citizens is fight, take over power, take these positions, and make sure people are knowing. I mean, there's people all around that are fighting for Stop the Steal in a bunch of different organizations, but right now direct action is going to be the only thing that's really going to make anything matter, except for we're having to walk the thin line that, already they have the Antifa counter protesters out there being violent and agitating anything and everything that they can, just so that the news media organizations can subvert and subdue whatever is being said. So there's a lot going on right now. It's going to be something that we're all going to have to deal with, and I don't think it's going to change here in the foreseeable future. So think about it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hit that like button, subscribe, consider becoming a member, and we'll definitely be back tomorrow, because there's going to be a lot more going on. I mean, if we already got people shooting each other in the streets and shooting at each other in the streets, this does not bode well for the upcoming presidency whatsoever. Either way, let me know how you think, and I'll see you on the next one. Be excellent to each other, much love, and I'll talk to you again real soon.